It's what an epic thing. All right, we'll start.
Wakey, wakey.
Welcome back to I'll Make a Stay Out of You, the podcast where we talk about Stray Kids for so many episodes and hide one piece of information from Tom the entire time.
Somehow successfully. I actually don't know.
So today's episode is a little different. We are recording it live on Twitch, and I pinned a tweet about it last week just so that everybody who is following us on Twitter, you may or may not, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But those of you who are following us on Twitter may have seen the tweet. And we are going to be talking about the member who is no longer in Stray Kids today, and it's finally happening. And the first piece of the puzzle we're going to be watching is a video that Stray Kids released called The Final Piece 2019, which was basically like in 2019 they were giving just like a quick trailer for what the rest of the year was going to look like, and it's pretty exciting. So we're going to watch it. Let's just watch it right now. Let's just do it right now. You ready?
Yeah.
It's only 43 seconds. Let's hit it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Astronaut.
All right, I'm just gonna scoot that back just a little bit so it's easy to see what we're looking at here. So, and those numbers below it, those are dates. I know they're not formatted the way that us weirdos in the United States.
I think you'd have to be a fool to not be able to look at that and go, "That's a date," you know.
Well, they're not separated by anything, so you could just be like, "That's a lot of numbers. What does it mean?"
I guess.
So, all right, let's talk about timelines, okay?
Sure.
To begin, the last episode of the 9th that we watched originally was released on YouTube on the 25th of September, okay?
Okay.
In 2019. And this video we just watched showing that there will be Double Knot in October, Astronaut in November, and then the Stray Kids World Tour District 9 Unlocked in November, followed by, at the end of November, the final album of the Clay trilogy, Clay Levanter, which is the next episode that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So, Levanter, as you can see, originally scheduled, and that will become relevant very quickly, for the 25th of November. And bear in mind, when they're making an album, right, we know this because Bangchan plans things like way in advance, that they had been working on this for a long time, recorded everything. By the time they announced it, they've recorded everything. They've probably recorded music videos at this point.
Yeah.
In fact, the next music video, I should say that they announced also on Twitter the next day that the District 9 Unlocked tour would be a world tour. So these two dates that are shown here are only in Korea, and they have two dates in Korea back to back, but they were going to go and tour around the world, which, I mean, 2020 happened, so lets you know about how well that went.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next thing we're going to be looking at is Double Knot, which was released on the 9th of October. However, we could watch the music video for that, but they did an additional music video for it a little bit later. And that is for a YouTube channel called Studio Choom, which does these like, it's mostly just a dance video, but it's like their own music video where they've got these like 4K crazy high def cameras, and they show their whole choreography in like epic detail. And that gets us a little closer to where we are, because really what I'm trying to build in your mind here, in your mind palace, is like, okay, where are we? What's happening? And how soon is this all happening, right? So that's why I'm trying to give you a little bit of a timeline, right?
Okay.
So, on the 9th, Double Knot music video was released. We're not watching it. We're skipping to the 20th of October, so just 11 days later, nothing crazy. And we are going to watch the Studio Choom Double Knot. And I will play that for you now.
Okay. Also, for the viewers at home currently, it's not great quality, and that's just what Discord does. You're gonna see it in the same quality that I see it in.
Well, it looks real good if you watch it on their website. So
I bet
4K Ultra HD. It says it in the title.
Yeah, but just everything that I watch through Discord, like, which has been everything.
Yeah, it gets garbage up.
Yeah, it gets pretty pixely sometimes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it usually probably happens when there's a lot of fast motion. So, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's when you normally get artifacts from
that's
from
true.
compression. Yeah. Just saying.
That and
archaeology. Just two ways that you get artifacts.
Sure.
The other thing about it is, of course, like this is like one of the rare occasions where I've actually kind of written down an outline of like, here are all the things we're going to talk about, and I'm going, okay, but like, am I going to move too fast because it's all written out? I could just go line by line. So like, maybe I should take a step back and say, like, what'd you think of their trailer? Did you like that trailer? It has a key. It's disintegrating. It's like fading away because they're no longer going to be in clay.
Okay. I wasn't picking up on that iconography, but I guess, sure.
Because clay means key in French, right?
Oh, yep, I knew that.
Yep. And then of course the door that they went in through was Miro. So it's all kind of trying to tell the story of the albums. Like, okay, we did the first album, we went through that door, and then we got the key, and now the key is going to turn to dust. Something else is going to come from it. They're going to move to another phase. And anyway, so here's Double Knot. Let's listen to it. All right, so that's Double Knot. What do you think?
It was good.
That's the first track that's going to be off the new album, which we will be listening to and opening for our next episode after this. But yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
I mean,
that's going to go.
It's a little more rappy than I prefer, but I don't hate it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I thought that you'd be into this one because it's so like in your face, but you are right. It is very rappy, so it's good.
I don't hate rap. I just don't listen to it all that often.
No, so. I know. Yeah. Okay. So, that is Double Knot on the 20th. So 5 days later, there's no footage of this that I could find, but Stray Kids performed at the Busan One Asian Festival in Busan in Korea. And then 3 days later, and all intact, by the way, no members missing. 3 days later, JYP announced that one of the members was leaving.
Snap.
So, I'm going to do my best to not react, and then I want you to tell me what your prediction was, and then I'm going to read the official JYP statement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You want me to tell you before instead of me saying after the fact.
That's right.
How do I feel about this? Look, I'll just take the L if I got it wrong, okay?
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
It does.
No. I think it's good for you to say it up front.
Okay, sure.
Let's do it. Who is it? Who do you think it is?
Hold on. Let me just make sure that...
You gonna check the message?
I know who it is in my head, but I just want to see how I worded it to Anna the other day. I can't find it. Fuck it. I don't know where it is. It's up there somewhere. Anyway. I am gonna guess Han.
Hello, this is JYP Entertainment. Woojin has left Stray Kids due to personal circumstances and has terminated his contract.
No. What?
Up until now. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Woojin, what are you doing to me, man?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Woojin was in your top 3, if I remember correctly. I
think it's worse now that I said what I thought it was.
No, it's fine. What's funny, okay, here's the funniest part, is that, like, I had been just racking my brain for the last, like, 2-3 weeks, talking to Jeanette about it, being like, oh, man, he's figured it out. He's definitely figured it out. Neither of us have ever gotten a Woojin card. He's gonna know. And then suddenly I started to piece together that, like, I realized that I hadn't talked too much about Han. And then when we opened our last album, I got a Han card and I was like, oh, I think this one's pretty rare. And I was like, oh my God, I put it into his head that it's Han. It's my, I think that it's Han. And so I predicted that your prediction was Han, which is,
yeah. Wow.
I incepted you. That's what happened.
Sure.
I did an inception. I went into your dreams. I went 3 layers deep, and I put the idea in your head. It was not intentional, but that's the best kind of manipulation, I guess.
Okay. I don't know if you're, I mean, like, by all means take all the credit that you want, but I don't know that you saying that about the card like that
was just like the most recent thing that I was listening to the episode again, and I was like, oh, maybe it's this, because, like, again, like, we weren't discussing what things you found to be clues leading you to make your deductions, so I just had to guess. So yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, true.
All right, let me finish reading this. Okay, little statement.
Sure.
All right.
Woojin, this is bullshit, man. All right, go ahead. Fuck you, Woojin.
All right. Woojin has left Stray Kids due to personal circumstances and has terminated his contract. Up until now, he was a Stray Kids member. We would like to apologize for troubling many fans with these sudden news. Because of this, the release of Stray Kids' new mini album, Clay Levanter, which was scheduled to be released on November 25th, will be delayed to December 9th. We would like you to send your support to Woojin, who will be going on his new path. We would also like to ask Stay to continue to support the 8 Stray Kids members who will continue on their path to their dreams with their compass. Thank you. That was the JYP statement. What do you think about this statement?
What do I think about the statement?
Yeah, just in general, or how are you feeling about it? I mean, you could do whatever.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, it's a good statement. It's good, I don't know, PR, I suppose.
Right. Yes.
Right?
That. Yeah. Okay. 100%. I was gonna say, like, you liked it, and I'm like, no. Yeah, positive PR, 100%. Because they're just like, oh, we wish him luck on his way out, and I'm like, bitch, you had an album scheduled,
9 or none, motherfucker.
I know, and a concert, a world tour planned that they had been choreographing, practicing, and they recorded all the vocals. So the reason why the album is delayed is they recorded all the vocals over again. They had to redo the whole album.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like mad. I was like mad for them with the first time that Jeanette and I went back and watched the Survival show, because I'm just like, I can't believe that he like left suddenly. And that because it's very non-committal in a very PR speak way, which does make sense because, like, they don't want to pull out anyone's dirty laundry. They don't want anything. Sure. Conspiracy theories everywhere from Stace. I went back in time by looking back, because time is relative and you can observe it. No, I just looked at past posts on the subreddit.
I just like how, like, I don't know, confident, just like, or nonchalant you were about. Yeah. So I went back in time the other day.
Yeah.
Did all this research, came back to the present.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the future back then.
I found it to be really interesting and somewhat surprising and enlightening because Stay I Know Now, like, they will, when somebody has to type his name, Woojin, they'll type like W*****Jin.
Yeah, I remember you saying that this is like the member who must not be named or something.
Right, exactly. People don't want to talk about him. But at the time, I found posts when it was announced in the subreddit, which the subreddit was much smaller then, their fan base was smaller then, but there were posts there who were just like, no, this can't be happening. Woojin is the sound and the voice of Stray Kids. Like, what are we now? Like, people were in disbelief. People were distraught about how is Stray Kids going to come back from this? Is the party over? Are they ever going to be the same?
Yeah.
And then there were a lot of people who had a lot of support for Woojin, who were just like, oh, if he goes solo, I'm going to follow him too, and blah, 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 like all this stuff. Like, people were very supportive at that time, which is weird to me now, because if you talk to a Stay now, they're just like, no, fuck that guy. And I think that would have been the right stance then. I know that probably when people first heard about it, right? It's shocking, and you may think, like, I don't know if he just, like, maybe he's having like anxiety or something and he just can't cope with it, and so he just had to step away, and that's so sad. But like, they just didn't say anything about that, so people just didn't know, and so people would just make up theories in their own mind about why. Now I will tell you, we are going to watch a clip from Bangchan's vlive where he talks about a friend he had in the past, and it's from far in the future, from when this actually happened. So kind of out of order, but I think it's relevant to the conversation, and there's no other time to bring it up. So
okay.
But before we do that,
sure.
At the same time as JYP released their statement, a little while later, Bangchan released his own statement. So, here you go. Okay. All right. It's exactly what you expect. We watched the survival show. You're gonna know what he's gonna say before I even read it. He says, "Stays, it's Chan. Today I'm writing this late at night because I was worried about Stays, who must have been more surprised than anyone. We always wanted to be Stays' strength, but my heart felt heavy the whole day knowing you must have suffered a lot today. I was very happy when I got to know that we'll debut as 9, but I'm sorry I couldn't protect the number 9 until the end. Above all, the fact that we can no longer be 9, we're in a situation where we have no choice but to accept reality. Today, too, Stays were very worried about us, SKZ. We're all right, so we hope Stays aren't hurting too much. Although it will be a challenge for us to move on into the future, the 8 members will stay strong through it. We, Stray Kids, will keep moving forward on our music and performance and will be Stay's strength. Stay, always sorry and thank you. You make Stray Kids stay."
Except one.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, so it definitely stands out to me because it's the same way that he felt when Felix was eliminated and when Minho was eliminated. It's like he feels ultimately responsible that he should have done more to like keep that member in the group, and that there must have been more he could have done to prevent this from happening. Like, is there something he could have done? And I mean, ultimately, I think the answer is no. So yeah, there's another thing that happens. What's interesting is when I was researching this. I'll keep going in order, but I researched this and found out that like the things that I had thought when I became a stay were not in the order or timeline that I thought that they were.
They were in a different timeline.
Oh, totally. Like, yeah, it's wacky. So
okay.
So, well, first off, I will say, Bangchan says that they're gonna stay strong and that they're gonna do fine. But Han actually took, I don't remember what they called it, a social hiatus. Basically, he still did recording, practice, performances, but anytime they did like a interview or variety show or whatever, he just like, or fan sign event, he did not go. Or if he went, he wouldn't talk. He showed up at more, like they had a statement saying like, oh, he's going to step back from these events for a little while to deal with his anxiety. But it really, I don't know. I felt like when I had looked into it, like he still showed up for a ton of events. He wasn't at the forefront. He didn't do talking, he was just there. So, okay. I felt bad for him, but this is like a hard time for all the members. There were, as far as the conspiracy theories go, there were several accusations from people that who went back and looked at a bunch of different videos, and they said, like, if you look at their body language and how they're acting around each other right now, it looks like Woojin was bullying members, and that like there's a video of them on stage, and they all get up on stage to like accept an award at one of the year-end award shows, and Woojin is like coming in, and he's gonna stand next to IN, and Hyunjin kind of like pushes him back a little bit, and then points and says like go to the other side, and people were like, oh, see, he's protecting IN from Woojin because Woojin is bullying him, and I'm like, that doesn't track from anything. Like, and they tried to put together evidence like, oh, well, here's this video where they're being rough with each other, but everybody was being rough with each other. Like, it really wasn't any one thing, like saying like, oh yeah, he's definitely bullying people. But like, there was a time when when he accidentally caught an elbow on Minho, and Minho was like, he hit his eye like pretty hard, and he like had to step back and like was like rubbing his head and stuff, and people were like, see, and he didn't even do anything, he didn't even comfort him or anything. And then like if you watch the full clip, you literally see Woojin walk over and like tap him on the shoulder and be like, are you okay? I'm sorry. Like, yeah. So I don't know, I think that people were so desperate to look for a reason that they would project any reason that was visible to them, even though the reason that he actually left was probably not visible, And I don't know, like the big three companies are not exactly known for just letting people out of their contract early. So, it's just one of those things where you kind of go, and that'll come into play when we watch the vlive that Bangchan did, which I think is talking about this person.
Okay.
The other thing that I wanted to mention, and this is what got all twisted out of order, is that there was in 2020, which is why it was like 10 months later that this happened. There was an anonymous sexual assault allegation that was posted on a social media site. And they didn't say who it was, but they said they were at a bar and somebody was like getting handsy with them and talking about how they were a member of like a really big group and they were famous and that they should like want to hook up or whatever. And then they like deleted the post, and then somebody else posted and said like, no, I was totally there. It was this person from this group, and they accused Woojin of doing it. He at the time was like just he had traveled a bunch. He hadn't done anything, no promoting, he didn't sign any deals to do solo work or anything. But he like at that time had just started to sign with a company to do solo stuff, and so they had to like quickly start trying to do like a PR run to be like, no, this didn't happen. And they said they have evidence of that, and then eventually like this year they put out like a 30-minute long video trying to like debunk all the claims and be like, see, this didn't really happen. And I watched the whole thing, and I feel like even having watched that whole thing, I can't make a lot of judgments on whether or not Woojin was there and did this thing or whatever. Because the documentary like mostly talked about like there was that second person who said like no I was there trying to like shore up the evidence, and the documentary is mostly attacking that person, and they like tracked down who that person was and found out that like they had ownership of the initial account that posted the Twitter at some point, and that the picture they posted to try and prove that they were at this place, they went and found the CCTV and found out that picture was not of Woojin. It was just like a guy who worked at the bar taking promo photos for this new type of alcohol that they had, whiskey or something.
Nice.
And it's just like, so they had all the CCTV, they had all this stuff, but like ultimately they didn't spend a lot of time debunking the actual allegation, just the person who tried to post evidence of the allegation. So I don't know what to take from that. I feel like, okay, for like PR's sake, it does make sense to not just be like repeatedly saying like, yeah, he was accused of this, he was accused of this, he was accused of this, because then you're just putting it into people's heads like, oh, he was accused of that.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know what to make of that. But for my opinion, like even if none of that was true, this is him leaving them right before an album release, right before a world tour, like all of this. And that might have been his decision, and that might have been JYP's decision. We don't know because they won't tell us. And so forever there will be conspiracies. But regardless, I don't think JYP would kick him out for no reason. I don't think that he would leave for no reason. So it was still in his responsibility to do something about, and he didn't. So I think he still comes out as being the dickhead in this situation.
Woojin?
Yeah, Woojin. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. It seems unusual. Well, whatever. I don't want to invent a conspiracy about it.
Exactly.
Like, we don't know what happened, but it seems like an unusual event. Yeah. To just be let go from your contract.
Right. Definitely.
So something happened that was big enough to warrant that.
Exactly. Right. So something must have happened, but we will never know what it was. And the closest we have is the vlive where Bangchan is not very committal. So if you want, we can watch that right now. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Boop. Boop. Just make sure to be.
We got subbies.
He speaks English almost the entire time, so no worries. Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Let's go.
Just make sure to be careful because it can really affect yourself and people around you. Like I know a person who had who had to face the worst consequence by making a lot of mistakes, and it was because of those mistakes that really affected the people around him. If you make a promise with with the team or the people around you, you need to be responsible and really keep those promises, not break them. And so while it's okay to make mistakes, like everyone makes mistakes, so it's really fine. But just remember to think of the people around you, and think very carefully about your future and what you want to do, like your dreams and everything, because the actions and decisions that you make could become a really it could become a very big turning point in your life. And so don't be that person who just thinks about himself and think about the people, and make sure to think about the people around you too, because if you don't, it's kind of like betrayal. Then and yeah, it means that you're being really, really selfish. So yeah, we can't go into too much detail, but yeah, I know Stays know what I mean. So it's fine.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So How are we feeling after that? I mean, I think, right, there's no way of getting around when he goes like, Stays know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's very clear what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is shocking to me. Yeah, that's incredible. Like in a mind-blowing way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it should be. You guessed it wrong.
But you guessed my guess right.
That's true. I think we got to count it for something.
Sure.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fair.
Hey, Han,
yes?
bias people.
Han Ji-sung?
Don't come at me, all right? Look, man.
It's fine.
Bang Chan
You're gonna be fine.
Bang Chan said it himself, mistakes happen, and that's okay. Han is literally, Anna says Han is literally my bias. Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
It could not have worked out any better.
Hey, will you bring me the Dr. Pepper in the fridge? Thanks. Appreciate it.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's very clear. I think that's the most amount of information we're ever gonna get, and it seems very clear that something happened. There was a pattern of behavior of Woojin not upholding his promises, and I don't know if that means that he wasn't keeping up his schedule with them working on albums, or if that means that it's his promise to stay with Stray Kids and not go off and be independent. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's like things about it that like drove me up the wall. Because this last year, 2021.
Hello. Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Okay. Nope, you're fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, Han is great. I love Han. He's so cool.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Don't worry.
Bye. I love you.
I love you too.
So now, there was concern at the time, obviously, because Woojin is like, he's their lead vocal.
Right.
And watching the survival show, like, you definitely got a sense, and they've improved already by this point, but you've gotten a sense that at the time when they were doing that like Ian was young and not trained as long or well as Woojin, and even Sungmin, even though he was really studious and practiced all the time and is a bit of a perfectionist, like, that they had really struggled to hit high notes, especially. So they're the only vocals left, other than the other members who can all sing to some extent.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, the concern at the time was pretty shocked and pretty surprised from people just saying, like, I don't know how these songs are going to sound without Woojin. Like, I don't know how, like, yeah, especially, and I'm gonna pick out a few that we can that we'll listen to in a future episode that I think at this point feature Woojin a lot and are going to be like remarkably changed by the new line distribution. The add-on effect, okay, is that there are now 8 members, which means that the line distribution on every song is going to be spread out more.
Right.
And so, to some respect, you get members coming to the forefront a little bit more and being able to try new things. And I think that largely Stay has considered this to be a positive change. So that's good.
I mean, there's still 8 members. That's a shitload of people that have.
It is a lot of people, but yeah, but they don't have necessarily, all their songs are not super short, especially when they do a mixtape where everybody gets to write a verse. So, it'll work.
yeah, and
we'll get there.
I mean, I'm sure that Woojin was pulling his weight, so to speak,
Definitely.
on albums
For the vocal team.
for the vocals and whatnot. But that's not to say that so someone else can just slide right into that spot and be that person for the team, So
Yeah. Well, his high notes and ad libs are on like every song up to this point, you know. So he's the one who's always like belting out big notes, and he's the one doing all the ad libs and stuff, and so it's a lot of pressure on two of like the youngest members of the group. I mean, literally, Ian is the youngest member, and he's now going to be one of the lead vocalists. Like they don't have a choice in the matter, and they are lucky because they do have members like Han. Because Han is Mr. High Note, right?
Yeah,
we know that from
Han,
Elevator.
I love Han's high notes.
Right.
Honestly, Han is like, he's getting up there,
Yeah, he better be now. Now that you know, that he's your wife's bias, he must climb up the charts.
I'm gonna sleep on the couch tonight, I guess.
Ah, well, what are you gonna do? If you have a Han photo card, you can just give it to her.
Do I? I don't remember which ones
know.
I have. I'll look through them. I think I do. Don't I? Hold on. We'll figure this out. I got them all right here.
Or the next time that there's stuffed animals are on sale, you can get her the quokka.
Yeah, the quokka.
Yeah, there's a quokka. I know it doesn't make sense because you'd think it would be squirrel, but no, they went with quokka.
Okay.
Yeah. It was actually, I think they did it in the last episode of the 9th season 5 when they were doing the silent shouting. When he was trying to say me, and he was like quokka, me, and he showed his puffed out his cheeks.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I am disappointed.
Yeah.
Wait.
That makes sense.
What's going on here? Oh, I put this thing back on. You remember that little strip on the I Am Who album?
Yeah.
Put it back on so I couldn't open it. Where are my cards?
They're gone. They left you. I
don't know if I got Han. I'm looking.
For I Am Who, I got 2 Hans in I Am Who. Was that in I Am Who? No. That was just in Yellowwood.
Did I get any Woojins, I wonder?
No. I don't believe they pack them in new copies. So the only way that you would be able to get that is if you managed to get a sealed copy from before this time happened.
Yeah.
2019.
I gotcha.
But yeah, they just don't even pack the cards anymore because then they would have to give him a cut of that Muns, And I'm sure he still gets some just based on his like song credits and stuff because on the early albums he's still on there. But yeah. So that's fun. We had Jeanette and I had talked a little bit because we had bought one of the first things we bought as stays was the District 9 Unlock Blu-ray, and so we actually have the concert that they performed in November, like 20 days after he left the group.
Wow.
So I didn't really know the timeline of all those events when I first watched it, and so I want to rewatch it and see kind of what impact that has on me. But
I did get
found
Han.
one?
My first album ever. I got Han.
Mixtape?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Present for the wife. Pack it up. Put it in a top loader.
Put it in a top loader?
Yeah, that's what they call it, right? The hard case card holders.
Oh,
it's a top loader.
I thought you were making like a farming joke. Because
no.
all of our chickens are dead.
Are they?
I
didn't know the server was still running.
Yeah, it's still running. It only cost me like $6 to keep it active, so I just keep.
Okay, all right.
I just keep it running, and I'm sure. I haven't been on in a while, so I keep saying every time I bring this up, I'm like, I gotta get on there and check on them, but I never do.
Oh well, poor chickens. They're just suffering.
At least they're virtual and not like real. Like if I had a real
farm.
I think I have
you
like
were neglecting.
I think I have like 3,600 chickens. You know, like if I had like 3,600 actual chickens, that would not be good. I'm sure someone would have said something, like maybe check on your chickens, guy. Or I'm gonna call I don't know, Chicken Protective Services or whatever that agency would.
CPS, yeah, everybody knows CPS.
CPS.
Oh man, yeah. So it's kind of crazy. So I don't know. We were talking. So we were talking about whether or not that we should watch it. You and I should watch the District 9 Unlocked concert. I know you said you were super into watching like live versions of songs and whatnot, but I think I might rewatch it just to.
It's just because the unless it's
like the live mix is usually
right. The
off,
live mix
it's pretty good.
It's usually not a very good cinematography. The cameras are just all over the place. It never makes any sense. And yeah, the audio is always like different than it should be, I feel like, and sometimes out of sync with the video also. Well, so just not my cup of tea, you know what I'm saying?
This is a professionally produced one released by them. It is better than that. Like it has better audio. As far as the video cuts go, they're better than some I've seen. There was a recent show that they did, and they were cutting to different cameras every 2 seconds, and it was blinding. You could not watch it. It was just like click, 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 like from camera to camera to camera to camera, and I'm just like, oh Jesus, like just show me one person or just show the full stage. It's fine.
But also they're like having a dance routine, and so like if you're watching that as part of the music video, then like the director of that music video will do things with different shots to, like, I don't know, bring something into focus or do something, with the screen that you don't get in a live recording, because they don't know what the fuck's going on, and you have time to do redos and shit while you're
the thing with the concerts in Seoul that they recorded for the DVD/Blu-ray is that the stage is insane, and so it actually has like a big like U shape that they can it's got like the normal like front stage that they can all perform together on, but then it has like a stage that goes like out into the crowd, and so they at times will separate and go and interact with the crowd all over the place. So it's
cool.
Pretty cool. It's really cool, and I just think I would appreciate it more watching it now, because at the time I was just like, I had listened to mostly songs that came after this period, because like we were pretty new. It was literally the first thing we bought, because I was like, well, I don't need a CD. I can just listen to their music, but I'll buy a Blu-ray.
Sure.
And now, of course, look at me. Just look at me. I'm filthy with CDs.
Yeah, you have too many.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
I guess they're going to be Christmas presents or something.
No, they're for me. The other people don't get these.
Oh, okay.
Christmas presents are swag, right? Like I was having trouble sleeping the other night. I like woke up. It was like 3 a.m. and I was just like,
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Is that what I was doing?
I'm not over the fact that you just said Christmas gifts are swag. What does that mean?
Yeah. Stuff we all get. It's an acronym. And it means like merch. Like I would buy merch for Jeanette for Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Right.
Sure.
And then when people say swag, you know what that means.
Swag?
Mm-hmm. It's the same acronym, but with an SH word instead of stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Got it.
We all get?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You can just say that, I think.
Well, look, I'm just saying that these are I didn't invent these words.
Nor
Tom.
did I.
Yeah, well, I'm just defining them for you because clearly you didn't understand them. That's all.
There's another swag, isn't there?
Like red light, green light?
What?
Oh, okay, never mind.
I mean, like swagger, like
right.
like
yeah,
style.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So in
there's
my
just
mind, I thought you
song.
were like, yeah, Christmas presents, dope as fuck, boy. Yeah, love them. Moving on to the story that I got.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? That is it is accurate. I mean,
Sure.
Christmas presents pretty swag.
Pretty swag.
My kids think so. They love it.
Yeah, of course. I loved getting who doesn't? And except here's where it's like changed, and I think that you're an adult when you reach this point, because I used to fucking hate getting clothes, but now I'm like,
oh
man,
my God,
if
I don't buy clothes for myself.
If someone gave me a nice pair of pajamas, like I'd be pretty excited.
That's like, yeah, definitely. So Jeanette's parents got me for Christmas. They got me like a like red shirt that has like the Grinch on it, and it says Merry Christmas or whatever or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. But the fabric is like really soft, and Michelle really likes it because our neighbor across the street from us had an inflatable Grinch in a Santa suit, and so she's like, it's Santa on your shirt. That is Santa.
Okay, the Grinch.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, the Grinch is Santa. Yeah. But we went to a kid's birthday, not this weekend, but last weekend. And we went to one this weekend also, but we went to one last weekend, a different one. And that's just what you do once you have kids.
I used to do drugs.
It's crazy.
I still do, but I used to too.
I used to too. Yeah. Yeah, but last week we went to a kid's birthday party, and I was wearing that shirt. And Kevin, friend of the pod, Kevin, it was his kid, and he was like, "Hey, why are you wearing a Christmas shirt?" And I was like, "Man, this was a Christmas present. It's not for Christmas time. I can wear it all year long, and it's comfortable."
Yeah.
And my kids like it. So what are you going to do about it? I'm going to wear a Christmas shirt all year long. It's not a sweater. It's a T-shirt. And it's comfy. It's a really soft shirt.
I have a Die Hard sweater that I got. I got one for my brother and one for my dad for Christmas, like 2014, I think. Yeah. And I don't know where it is anymore, but I would wear. It's a Die Hard sweater. Okay, so it passes as both not Christmas and Christmas material. I think.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And so yeah, I would wear that not during Christmas time. However, it's a sweater, so maybe I wouldn't wear it, until it's cold and Christmas-like.
It's when is it not cold? I mean, it was finally warm today, but it's been freezing over the weekend. Like last weekend, it was so nice that I went to like Home Depot with the kids, and we bought some like tomato plants and jalapeno plants and stuff, and we planted them in our garden. I think I talked about this. So we had this nice day where we planted in the garden, and then it's like, oh, hey, sorry about that. It's gonna freeze now, and I'm like, mother fucking what?
That's kind of strange. It's been hot here lately, except for today it was kind of chilly.
They were just like, oh yeah, there's like an Arctic blast coming through, so sorry, it's gonna freeze again for like 5 days. And I was like, it was 80, literally in Austin. It set a record for the fastest turnaround for a temperature drop. It dropped 54 degrees in 17 hours.
Wow, that's
from like
insane.
84. Yeah. It was really crazy. And but I had some like plastic, and I covered the plants up, and they held up pretty well. And then I went to check on them to like just peek under the plastic, and they were doing okay. They seemed like they were doing all right, and they were working. They were holding up under the plastic. So I put and then I checked, and it was supposed to freeze one more time that night, which was only like a day ago. And I was like, okay, well, I'll cover them back up, and then they'll get through tonight, and then tomorrow I'll give them some fertilizer. We'll be good. We'll be gardening. And then I was super busy at work today, slammed, but Jeanette wanted to take the kids out to the backyard, and so she asked if she could just take care of it for me, and do the fertilizing. And I was like, sure, yeah, you just do it this way and just hit them with the fertilizer. And then she like messages me, and she's like, something's wrong with the plants. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she was like, it looks like they melted. And I was like, what? And she sent me a picture, and they literally like, it's just what happens when like a plant cell freezes. Like if you freeze like a piece of lettuce and then thaw it out, it just completely wilts. It falls apart. Like the cell walls break, and they just fall apart. So after I was finally done working today, I basically had to go out there, trim off all the dead leaves, which was almost everything, and then I put some fertilizer in. So hopefully they'll come back. But if they don't, I'll just have to go buy some more. It's fine. I don't care. I had been growing from seed, which works really well because I planted a bunch of seeds at the same time, and you know what they did because it froze? They stayed in the fucking ground. And when it gets warm, they're going to grow, and no problem. And that's nice, but, sometimes, we live in Texas, so, like, it will suddenly go from, like, it's 70 degrees, nice growing weather, and then it's like, it's 103. You're dying. So it's kind of nice to actually plant, like, a growing plant sometimes instead of growing from seed, but, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's my little gardening detour. What's this podcast about?
I have no idea anymore.
Not Woojin anymore.
Not fucking Woojin. Well,
no, fuck that guy.
Okay, so here's the issue that I'm having with that is that, I would love to, and I have already, like, to just say, fuck Woojin, but maybe it wasn't his fault. Like,
I know.
So, I don't,
I mean, the bottom line is that in some way you can say maybe it wasn't his fault because it could have been a decision by JYP, but JYP would not make that decision for no reason. And Bangchan's vlive makes it sound like this was a choice. This was caused by choices that he made over and over when he made other promises.
Right.
So to me, it reads like, at the very least, which is enough for me to just write him off and say, like, fine, go off into the sunset. I don't need you. It's just, okay, like, you had ample opportunity to change things in your life, and rather than doing that, you left the group. So that's ultimately what it came down to for me. And I just kind of go, okay, well, I don't need to hear from him again. But what makes things worse is that last year, 2021, so the sexual assault accusation was in 2020. They refuted it. They had done some tweets and stuff. But really, until they went to start promoting his comeback, his solo comeback, which did happen. Because we're probably not going to talk about Woojin anymore, so I might as well get it out now. It doesn't matter. Is that they, for one, when they tweeted about the promoting it, they put the tweets accusing him of sexual assaults blurred out in the background, which is weird, and people found that really odd that they were like using the sexual assault allegations as advertising for his comeback. It makes more sense when you find out that they produced that little mini documentary on YouTube to like try and debunk all the claims, because they're saying, yes, he has a comeback. Also, we've got a whole thing planned for addressing those accusations. And it's like, okay, well, like, that makes more sense. But like, when it happened, people were really shocked by it, like really shocked. And there was a huge backlash of people online because it wasn't clear. The other thing that got me is that they announced his comeback on March 25th.
Wow.
And I was livid.
Oh, yeah.
I was so mad. And there was other stuff happening at the time that made things difficult, not just pandemic stuff, but like we'll get into that when we get closer to Kingdom. And so I was just already frustrated, and then I saw that was announced, and I was like, this motherfucker, like, you left this group and you're now trying to like make your name off of them anyway.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I found that so frustrating. So anyway, yeah, I mean, they didn't say it explicitly, but like, it's March 25th. That's the day that they debuted. So yeah. I don't know. I found that to be really frustrating. So anyway, last bit I will do about future stuff is that he did debut his solo project, and he did not win any music shows and was totally low down on all the rankings. So get fucked. I hope you find a fan base, I guess, for yourself, but I'm not in it.
Wow.
How about that?
All right.
How about that? Is that strong enough of a statement?
That's a pretty strong statement, yeah.
I mean, just like, okay. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is, okay, when we watched that video and it said they're going to do Double Knot and then Astronaut and then do the concert and then Levanter, right? Astronaut is another track on Levanter that they recorded a music video for. And Woojin is in the music video because they can't just get the whole crew and reshoot the music video. And so, but the vocals were re-recorded for Levanter, so the vocals don't include him. So they just kind of edited around him. And there's like some scenes like where they're like, there's like a merry-go-round in it, and you can see the back of his head for like a split second. But there's like weirdly cropped ones where they'll have a member and then like somebody's arm on the very edge of the screen, and it's like Woojin's arm, because they just like had to still put it together. So I don't know. There was a lot invested up front that kind of got dicked over and had to be adjusted, and that's one of them. But we'll watch that for our next episode. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
we may, because this is not going to be a long record sesh. We didn't watch an hour of content ahead of time. We may watch the Levanter stuff right after we're done here.
Oh, okay.
How about that? Teaser.
Yeah.
Teaser.
Teaser. I've been teased.
Should we do that on stream when we're done?
Sure.
Watch all the Levanter stuff. Or
Yeah, sure we can. I mean, I don't care.
Sure we can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's only 10, so
I know it's early. Yeah, we got through it. Yeah. So ultimately,
that's because we just went straight in and we didn't watch, and then
right, exactly.
We would be starting the recording now.
Like now, right? Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So it's fun, and the sun.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess if you like what kazoos.
Jeanette wants to know how you're feeling, Tom.
I'm feeling relieved that it's finally over. For one, like we can move on. There's no more secrets except for just things that maybe nothing serious like this. I don't need to.
Or so it would appear.
Well, I don't need to be protected from everything that happens in the future.
It's
now.
true.
Yeah,
you don't.
It's okay. It's okay if I see something here and there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I still want to caution you away from just looking in YouTube recommends and stuff.
I've been all over it
jump
ever
the
since
gun.
you said who it was. I've been like, oh, okay, I'm going to look up all the spoilers now. Thank you.
No, don't look up all the spoilers.
Like,
no
I know
spoilers.
about that one thing that happens that one time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, not that one time.
Yeah.
That's important.
I know.
Now, there's still going to be plenty of stuff for you to be able to react to for the first time as if you were, a new stay. I mean, that's like the whole deal, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
I think it was a good experience for me to have, right?
Yeah.
As somebody, I mean, like, because you didn't get that same experience, right? Like, you knew
not at all. Yeah, I knew
time.
before watching the survival show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's definitely interesting not knowing. And I mean, like, if I could have somehow twisted your brain to completely forgetting that a member leaves, which did happen. I feel like for like 2 albums you had forgotten, and then you were like, wait a minute, doesn't somebody leave? Like, it suddenly came back, and then we made a whole deal about it, and then you're never gonna forget after that. So yeah, but it's pretty crazy, and I'm glad that we got here, and it's pretty great.
I like to envision that every recording that has taken place, you've been gauging my like mental acuity to see if I've remembered something that you mentioned once 47 episodes ago.
35 episodes ago.
Excuse me. Yeah. Well, this is 35, so 33 episodes ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just something that had happened where it's just like we just weren't talking about it. We were just talking about what we were talking about. So yeah. But once it came up more recently, I knew that like there's no putting that back. So that's fine.
Thing to rest.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we put it to rest.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
pretty
sleeping.
good.
It's coma.
Yeah. So hopefully, it'll never come up again, and we won't have to talk about this person again. And we get to enjoy
that person.
Oh
fuck
shit!
W
Jin.
Sure.
Sure. What? Okay. Yeah.
What do they say? How do they say it? How do they refer to he who must not be named?
That's it. Voldemort. It's he who must not be named. You just said it. You said it out loud. You would know because you watched the movies recently.
No, well, yeah. I mean,
you were making a trivia game. I listened to what we talked about.
Well, you were there also, so
I was there, but I don't
doesn't
listen
even
to that.
rely on you listening to the recording. Look, that was a few months ago. Okay, I wouldn't say that's recently. It was a few months ago.
Yeah. Well, anyway, regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. I listened to that part too, and I was like, yeah. How can you not know it's platform 9 3/4?
Because my mind goes blank. Like when we are starting our recording, we have to capture 15 seconds of silence, and then as soon as I say okay, start now, I immediately forget how to add numbers. Because I just panic and I'm just like
every time.
I don't know when do I stop.
It's 15. It's not even that hard.
I know.
And yet every single time I'm like, okay, 12, carry the 5.
It's too good. Yeah, I know. I just panic and I suddenly forget. I spent all my mental energy today working. I worked overtime today too, so
yeah,
it's good. Worth it. I made it here, so it was worth it, and and we'll work it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I like how also talking about our opening thing is. It seems almost every time we know what's happening. We know it's coming. We prepare for this. We do it every episode, and yet every single time we're like, we don't inhale enough before the 15 seconds.
100%. Yeah, it's too good.
We're so unprepared for things we prepare for.
Especially this episode. This is the most prepared, other than maybe episode 1, and even then I got stuff wrong, right? Because I had to make that correction. Yeah. So what are you gonna do
about saying?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's call it an episode and watch some Levanter contents, shall we?
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I got a haircut today.
Cool. Sounds good. I hope it looks nice.
Yeah.
I hope it looks real good.
I think so. I had like this.
Okay.
I had this weird floppy thing going on the top of my head.
Oh,
and I mean, it wasn't weird. It was just like, like I could slick it, and I was like, I don't know, I was getting tired of it. So I went in there and I was like, hey, can you like cut a lot of this off? But like make it so that it's short enough that I can style it, but I don't have to if I don't want to. And he's like, okay.
And he shaved the whole thing off.
Yeah, I just buzzed it straight off.
Nice.
He was like, you can style this with shiny stuff or not.
Great.
No, he didn't do that. It's just shorter.
No. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
And for the listener on the podcast, we will see you next week when we talk about Levanter.
I feel like I needed to throw in some random like gardening story. So that's what I got today.
Sure. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
No, it's not goodbye. It's see you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator.
Should we have a name for our listeners? Like, they're not stays.
They are stays. We don't have listeners that are not stays.
No.
The only listeners that we have that are not stays are being made into stays by listening to the Stay podcast.
But we can't claim they're stays for other people. What are they for us? And listener,
consumers,
who's your bias?
Ooh, listener engagement from Tom. Who is your bias?
Yeah.
Oh, I can talk about ours now. I
meant of between us. But yeah. About Stray Kids too. Tell us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but do you want to know who my bias is?
Yeah.
I kind of have two.
Okay.
But I feel like at the top has always been Felix.
Okay.
And then just below him is Minho.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love, and it's weird that it works out that way because Minho is Jeanette's bias, and so like we both have a bias for Minho. So like we have more Minho stuff than anything else. Like we have a little stuffy. We ordered a stuffy recently for him, and then at Christmas. Yeah, like you have the stuffed animal for Chongbin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you never heard the term stuffy?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anyway, so things are going to get cool. We're going to see new line distributions right now as we're listening to it. And then on the next episode, the listener gets to hear us talk about it. So enjoy. See you later, alligator.
Got him.
All right, that's the end. I'm stopping recording. Bye.
Wait, you're going to stop recording?
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.